Bernie Sanders has announced an incredibly important piece of legislation with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to rein in predatory lending practices. This is at the same time where Donald Trump is pushing forward a plan to lift every single protection and restriction on agencies from harassing you, bill collectors from hounding you in your home 7 days a week. Bernie Sanders is working to do quite the opposite with AOC. Here he is with Ali Velshi and Stephanie Rule. Once again, correct policy, and Bernie Sanders, a very strong and clear political communicator and moral communicator here. Let's go.
Okay. All right, so what this would do, as you just articulated, is it would cut sharply into profits for lenders, the banks that make these loans and issue these credit cards. Do you have concern that because of that, the banking lobby is very, very strong and they influence a lot of your colleagues, as you have known for the last few decades?
Do I have concerns about that? Well, that's kind of an understatement. Look, you got Wall Street and the drug companies and the insurance companies basically running the United States Congress. That's why the rich are getting richer and so many people are struggling. But I think here, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, you have a profound moral issue. Every major religion, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, every religion understands that usury and loan sharking are immoral. And let's call this what it is. This is loan sharking. Now, I don't know that the well-paid executives on Wall Street go around breaking people's fingers or their kneecaps. But what they are doing, and think about this, half of the American people today have no wealth at all. They're living paycheck to paycheck. You got a medical emergency, your car breaks down. These are desperate people. And then they go to Wall Street and they're charged outrageous interest rates. Wall Street profits are soaring. People get further and further in debt while wages remain stagnant. This really is disgusting. And it has we have to stand up to the greed of Wall Street.
This is exactly right. And again, there is a real consistency here. Let's play the throwback clip just to complete this cycle. I mean, in the 1990s, through well into the Obama era, this guy was not taken seriously for talking about the reality of what has been happening since the late 70s, accelerating through the Reagan-Clinton eras, ripping apart regulation, primarily tax cuts to redistribute wealth to the top, people's lives getting harder and harder and harder, and predatory Wall Street and financial services companies filling a gap of absolute human desperation with usury rates in their credit cards, as an example. This is Bernie Sanders' victory speech in 1990, getting elected to the House. He was right then. He's right now.
As I understand it, Congressman Smith has just conceded. There's one point that I've been making throughout the campaign, and I want to make it again tonight. And that is, you all understand that it is not going to be Bernie Sanders or any other member of Congress that's going to bring about the change that we need. That what we need in this country is a mass movement of tens of millions of people who are prepared to stand up and say, we want national health care. We want the millionaires and the multinational corporations who have not been paying their fair share of taxes to start paying. That we want money going into education and environmental protection. And no more Star Wars or stealth bombers. tonight, as I stand before you, I think that maybe one small state might go down in history as being the leading state in the fight for a political revolution. A political revolution which takes power away from the multinationals and the wealthy and gives it back to the people where it belongs.
Couple years ago, from that point, Joe Biden was on television demanding that George Herbert Walker Bush put more nonviolent drug offenders in prison. All right.